Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I want to do is I'm going to go over all 13 shots again, but this time we're going to do it differently. I'm going to show you in map-wise of when each shot occurred, okay? And I'm going to show you that there's two shots taken at the same time as from certain locations and stuff. I'm going to show you in detail now of each one of these shots, and I'm going to show you in detail on other information as well when it comes to JFK assassination, about a mystery man being there and everything else, which I already made a video on that. But let's get into it, because that's how I like doing it. I like to get into this and just show this evidence. Okay, now in detail we're also going to talk about when each shot was taken, what it made contact with, and everything else. Okay, shot number one came from the 6th floor Texas School Book Depository. The first shot struck JFK in the back, bullet exited through, passed Governor Conley's head, and struck the chrome between the sun visors of the windshield right here. Okay, that shot was taken at, now this is a starting point. I want to point out this is a starting point right here, which you'll see it in every one of the maps. This is a starting point because this is when JFK's limo is first seen in the Zapruder film. This right in this location here is where frame 133 starts of the Zapruder film. Okay, when Oswald took this shot, the shot and the distance between him and JFK at that time was 194.76 feet or 64.89 yards. The shot from the starting point here to this point here was 7.16 seconds. That was shot number one. Shot number two came from the 2nd floor of the County Records building. Now this shot, again, like I said, much more film and stuff, this shot struck JFK in the back of the head. However, the bullet did not exit. The bullet entered JFK's head 15 centimeters. The distance between this gunman's location and JFK when he took that shot to JFK was 294.18 feet or 98.6 yards. That time frame from this starting point here to here was 7.58 seconds. Shot number three, that also came right after shot number two. And this shot, again, was taken by the gunman on the 2nd floor of the County Records building. This shot, instead of, he already knew he already struck JFK in the back of the head. So his second shot, he took and ends up hitting Governor Conley. Governor Conley was shot in the right side as he was looking out to his right. Okay, the distance from the gunman and Governor Conley at this point was 313.69 feet or 104.55 yards. The time frame starting here to this location was 8.71 seconds. Here's shot number four and shot number five. Both of these shots were fired at the same time by two different assassins in two different locations. Shot number four came from shelter number three. It came from the gunman on the inside taking the shots through the window of the shelter. That shot struck JFK in the right side of the head. That bullet made contact with bullet number, the first shot to the back of JFK's head, which would be shot number two. So bullet number four made contact with shot number two. And that bullet, after they made contact, JFK's head opened up. And like I said, at the same time, Oswald took his second shot, struck JFK in the back of the head, and that bullet passed through that opening of JFK's head, went past again between Governor Conley and Mrs. Conley, and struck the inside of the windshield right here. Okay, both of these shots were fired at the same time. However, with the shelter being at closer range, his bullet made contact first with JFK, then Oswald's bullet made contact right after. So it was like bang, bang, like that. So basically that's how it happened. Okay. This gunman was 71, when he took the distance that he took when he took that fatal headshot to JFK was 71.70 feet or 22.90 yards. The time frame on this shot was 14.0 seconds. That's from here to here. Oswald's shot, now the distance between Oswald and that fifth shot to JFK's head was 268.17 feet or 89.39 yards. The time frame on his shot was 14.07 seconds. So it's a split of a second when both these shots were fired from back to back. But like I said, his shot made contact with JFK's head first, JFK's head exploded, and then Oswald's bullet made contact with the back of JFK's head. The bullet passed through the opening and struck the inside of the windshield of JFK's limo. Now, at this point here, no more shots came from the 6th floor technical book depository. So this, starting with this point here, Oswald could be setting his rifle up in there, closing out the box up, and heading to the elevator to take it down. I want to point this out as well because there's no more shots coming from the 6th floor technical book depository after that 5th shot. Okay, no more shots coming from there. Now, shot number 6 and 7, okay, was also fired at the same time. This shot here, which was shot to Governor Conley, that was from the second gunman inside the shelter, but he took his shot from the side of the shelter that was behind Miss Prudence shelter number 3. His shot made contact. At the same time, his shot made contact with the curb where James Tague was standing. Both of these shots was fired from 2 different locations. The curb shot was shot number 7. That came from the rooftop of the county records building. Shot number 6 came from the side of the shelter, shelter number 3, down by the grassy knoll area of the Palagora. That shot hit Governor Conley. The first distraction shot, I'm going to call, came from the gunman on the rooftop of the county records building. That struck the curb next to James Tague. The distance from shot number 6 from the gunman and Governor Conley was 91.55 feet or 30.52 yards. Time frame on his shot was 20.87 seconds. Now, the distance between the gunman here on the rooftop of the county records building to the curb was 559.74 feet or 186.58 yards. Time shot frame on his was 20.88 seconds. So shot number, we'll go back, shot number 4 and shot number 5 was taken at the same time from 2 different assassins from 2 different locations. Shot number 6 and 7 also was taken at the same time from 2 different assassins and 2 different locations. Now we got shots number 8 and 9. After this gunman took his shot, we're talking about the gunman on the top of the county records building on the rooftop. After he took a shot to the curb, he comes back and takes 2 shots to the manhole cover. He hits the concrete, hit the side of the concrete and the top corner of concrete of the manhole cover there. The distance between these 2 shots, which is shot number 8, which hit the side of the manhole cover, of the concrete and manhole cover, that was 374.21 feet or 124.94 yards. Time frame on that shot was 20.99 seconds. Now, the shot that struck the top corner of the manhole cover, the distance was 379.68 feet or 126.36 yards. Time frame on that shot was 21.01 seconds. Both of these shots were fired back to back. And it came from the same location, the gunman on a rooftop of the county records building. After that shot was taken to the manhole cover, which is right here, the gunman on the 2nd floor of the county records building took shot number 10. That shot struck the steps where the 3 men were standing. This is what got people started running up the stairwell here, the stairs right here, because after the shot to the curb and 2 shots to the manhole cover, people in the background start running around, stuff like that, and they start heading up this way, and then we have a gunman shooting to the steps where 3 men was. That's when they're going to start running up, so other people can follow them up through there. So these 2 gunmen inside of shelter number 3 can get out and get lost in with the crowd as they're running, trying to get out of cover, trying to get out of line of fire. This shot number 10. This came from the 2nd floor county records building. The distance between the gunman and the steps was 322.53 feet or 110.84 yards. When he took that shot, the time frame on that shot, starting point again here, was 21.86 seconds. Now, shot number 11 and 12. This also hit the grass area right here between Elm and Main Street. Okay, after he took the shots, after the gunman on the rooftop of the county records building took 1 shot to the curb, then come back to 2 shots of manhole cover. He raised up a little bit more aim, and he took 2 shots to the grass area right here. And that's when we start seeing more people starting running around and everything else. And it starts running up in here too. So you get more people running into this location here to get out of cover, get under cover from the line of fire, so these gunmen can get away. The distance between the gunman on a rooftop of the county records building to the grass area where both these shots made contact with. Okay, B shot number 11 was 416.94 feet or 138.98 yards. Time frame on that shot was 21.87 seconds. Then shot number 12, which also struck in the same location a little bit, which was the grass area as well. The distance between the gunman and that shot was 417.58 feet or 139.19 yards. Time frame on that shot was 21.88 seconds. This is the reason why I said when we check out the time frame for this shot and these shots here and this shot here, the guy had an automatic rifle when he was taking these shots. So he didn't have a bolt action rifle. He had an automatic rifle so he could take 2 shots at a time. That's why I said when you put this evidence back in this location, you study all this evidence, you can find out what type of rifle they're using, automatic or bolt action. Okay, a lot of the assassins there that day was using bolt action rifles, except for the 2 gunmen that was in the county records building, because basically by the way they was taking their shots and the time frame in between those shots. Then we have the final shot, shot number 13. That shot came from the 2nd floor of the county records building. That assassin took his shot and struck the sign on a lamp post. Right here, there was a sign on a lamp post that was stricken and that they took down that same day of the assassination. The distance between that shot was from the assassin's location and that sign on a lamp post was 434.86 feet or 144.96 yards. Excuse me. Time frame on that shot was 22.02 of a second. As I just went over, okay, we know by photographic evidence now, excuse me, and by the time frames, the assassin here, which I'll go into more detail, there was 13 shots total fired that day, as you see here, from their locations that the gunman was at, the assassins. We know the assassins, they had 1 gunman here on the 2nd floor of the county records building, 1 gunman on a rooftop of the county records building, 1 gunman on the 6th floor of Texas School Book Depository, and then 2 gunmen in shelter number 3 of the Pelagora down by the grassy knoll. Now, that day, there was 13 shots fired. Okay, we already know the distance, we know the time frames. Okay, the total time frame for all 13 shots to be fired from these locations, and we're talking 13 shots was fired, was 14.72 seconds. Within 14.72 seconds, there was 13 shots fired. Okay, and 13 shots was fired from 5 different gunmen. Well, excuse me, yeah, 5 different gunmen from 4 different locations. Within that time period of 14.72 seconds, 13 shots were fired. Within 14.72 seconds, JFK was shot 4 times, Governor Connally was shot 2 times, then 1 shot to the curb, 2 shots to the manhole cover, 1 shot to the steps, 2 shots to the grass area, 1 shot to the lamp post, for the total of 13 shots. Then you also had that mystery man on the corner of Houston and Elm that point everybody in this direction of the Texas School Book Depository. So everybody pay attention to here, so nobody pays attention up here to this county records building or over here shelter number 3. He was make sure that everybody was paying attention to the Texas School Book Depository. Like I said, when you place this information in there, and we'll start back again, okay, this is shot number 1, shot number 2, shot number 3, shot number 4 and 5, shot number 6 and 7, shot number 8 and 9, shot number 10, shot number 11, 12, and then shot number 13. Now, as you notice when we go over this, okay, Oswald takes shot number 1. Okay, that's the only shot was fired at that point. Then shot number 2 was fired over here. As you see, Oswald's getting ready and set for his 2nd shot. And you got 2 more shots fired in between Oswald's 1st shot and 2nd shot that he took that day. Now we have 2 more shots being taken from 2 different locations and struck JFK in the same location, basically the head, right side of the head and back side of the head. Okay, now watch this. Now Oswald's, no more shots are coming from there. So after the 5th shot, this gives Oswald this time, this time, this time, this time, this time to get away. So now we know there was exactly, Oswald took shot number 5. So now he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 shots after Oswald took his last shot. Okay, like I said, we could pull a lot of information now because now we know that there was some shots fired at the same time from different locations from different assassins as well. When we view this, okay, we view this. This is shot number 1. And then we go shot number 2, shot number 3, shot number 4, 5. As you see, was shot at the same time. Then shots number 6 and 7 also shot at the same time. Again, from 2 different locations. This time, one from the inside of the shelter, one from the outside of the shelter, on the side of the shelter. One from the 6th floor Texas School Book Depository, one from the rooftop of the County Records building. Okay, this is the reason why everybody claimed they only got hit by the 2nd shot, just like Governor Connally. Remember, the shots up here, when we view this, I want to show you this real quick. When we view this, Oswald's shots are not going to be hurt because he's on the 6th floor and he's inside. And that's going to sound like more of a pop, like a firecracker. And then you have a gunman down here taking this 1 shot. So everybody's going to hear this because he's at ground level. Okay, and it's going to echo right through here. It's like Dealey Plaza is more like an echo chamber anyway at that point in time. But anyway, they're going to hear this shot. They're going to hear a bang bang, as you see right here. So right here, there was 4 shots taken. When they heard them 2 shots there was actually 4 shots taken. So let's look at that. We got 2 shots, bang bang, bang bang. Okay, it's going to sound like 3 shots. See? Because they're so close together. You have 2 different, got a gunman here taking the shots, and 2 gunmen down here taking shots. That's why Governor Connally says he only heard 2 shots. He was hit by the 2nd shot because he only heard the shots next to him was in shelter number 3. Same as James Tague. He only heard 2 shots. He heard this shot here, then he heard shot number 2, which is from here, and that's where he hit the curb. But that shot didn't come from this location. That came from the rooftop of the County Records building. That's where that shot came from. So see, like I said, once you put this information back in there and you start going over, like you see here, we get more information. We know exactly what happened. We know the shots, the order of the shots. Now at this point, like I said, at this point now, we know the location, true location is gunman. We know there was a mystery man there on the curb of Houston and Elm Street. We know there was 13 shots fired. We know JFK was shot 4 times, 3 times in the head, once in the back. Governor Connally was shot twice, once on the right side, once in the back. Then the curb shot. Then you had 2 shots in the manhole cover, which both of them bullet holes could still be seen today and felt today at Dealey Plaza. Then we have the shot to the steps. Then we have the shot to the grass area. Then we have the shot to the lamppost, which that sign was removed during the same day of the assassination because they knew a shot struck there because it had a dent and a bullet dent inside that street sign, so they know a bullet hit there, so they removed that sign as well on the same day that was on that lamppost. Okay, there's a lot of information we pull now because now all the evidence is backing up what we see. We have eyewitness accounts backing up what we see and hear now. Okay, everything that's starting to fit into place. The puzzle is finally coming fully done. Okay, that's what we got to look at. This puzzle is finally getting completed. Okay, people don't want to believe in this research. People don't want to think. People want to still believe in that theory that's going on around there and everything else. That's fine and dandy. But when you sit and you look at this information, like, okay, we know the gunman on the rooftop of the County Records building, all he took was distraction shots, but he did not take his shot until after the first shot was fired from down here. Okay, this gunman here, he took 4 shots. 1 struck JFK, 1 struck Governor Connally, and then he took 2 distraction shots. Okay, if you know there had to have been distraction shots, and the reason why I said it had to be distraction shots, because he did a headshot to JFK. He did a right side shot to Governor Connally. Okay, he already took 2 shots, and he made contact with JFK and Governor Connally. So why did he have to take distraction shots? He took distraction shots because this gunman here was also told to take distraction shots because if any shots came from shelter number 3, because we'll watch this. I want to show you this. I want to point this out and hopefully everybody understands. JFK was already shot here. We know this. The bullet struck JFK in the back, the bullet exited his throat, struck the chrome between sunvisors and the windshield. Now we got the gunman on the second floor taking his shot and struck JFK in the back of the head. So he knew he already shot JFK. So at this point, JFK was already shot twice. Then he takes his second shot, which is to Governor Connally. So now the shot stopped after Governor Connally was hit. The shot stopped for a moment. And then boom. Oswald aimed because he knew he didn't hit JFK in the head. So he took his second shot right along with the gunman inside of shelter number 3 because he was at this point, he was like, I either have to take my shot. If I don't take my shot right now, then JFK could still get away, being alive. So I have to take my shot now because he was the backup assassin. And with him sitting there seeing Kennedy still sitting upright and Mrs. Kennedy holding place, and then he had that back brace on, this is the reason why this gunman took a shot here. But at the same time, Oswald was going for that fatal headshot as well. At the same time, that's when both bullets was fired at the same time, but one made contact with JFK's head first. Then the second one, when it made contact, went through the back and through the opening of JFK's head and struck the inside of the windshield. And as you noticed, no shots from the rooftop yet. Am I correct? No shots from the rooftop. Just there's 2 shots from here. He knew he had Kennedy and he knew he had Governor Connally. And then when we watched the Zapruder film, we had that stop of shots being stopped. It wasn't until the fatal headshot, which we're going to look at from frame 44. Okay, we'll figure that one out right now. 244 when Governor Connally was shot. Right here. Okay, this is frame 244. Okay, now JFK wasn't shot until frame 319. Okay, so we have exactly, let's go through this real quick. We have almost exactly, let's see. Excuse me, 67. I figured that out for a minute real quick. Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out on my desk. I don't have no paper with me. But anyway, and it's hard to see on a brown desk. But anyway, there was 67 frames. There was no shots fired. Okay, we have 67 frames where there was no shots fired. Okay, so after the shot here, 67 frames go by before another shot occurred because it was at this point here. And then when this shot was fired, they wasn't paying attention to over here now. This gunman here and this gunman here, because he already knew he shot JFK and he already knew he shot Governor Connally. He was waiting until see if a shot was fired here. Once he seen that shot fired, what happens? Boom. He takes his shot, but he takes a distraction shot. And then this gunman here comes around and takes his shot here. Okay, so he takes his shot and he takes his shot at the same time. And then after that, what's the next thing? We got him coming back, taking 2 more shots here. We got another shot from the gunman on the second floor. He already knew he shot Connally and he already knew he shot JFK. So now he's got to start taking distraction shots as well. So he takes his 2 distraction shots. And this gunman here takes more shots over here. And then we have the fatal shot, shot number 13, come from the second floor of the county records building. So see, it was very well planned. Okay, it was very well planned. People don't understand it. When you look at this and you go over this, and you put this evidence in place, and you have your distance, you have the location where the assassin was, or where that shot made contact, and you start going over it, and you're going, okay, now I can see this. I know the distance now. I know the location, which would fall in place, and everything else. Now we can make more sense out of it. We can understand. This gunman here was only there just to take distraction shots. The only reason why distraction shots were even being fired is because the shot was taken right here. If no shots came from shelter number 3, I guarantee you there wouldn't have been no shots come from the Texas school book on the rooftop of the county records building. Them distraction shots wouldn't have been taken. The shots from the second floor of the distraction shots that he took wouldn't have been taken. Because the gunman already had, their point man down here already had people looking up the 6th floor Texas school book depository. Because after shot number 5, Oswald didn't take no more shots. That's the reason why Dillard brought his camera up. That's why Dillard brought his camera up and took a picture. That's how he got Oswald in frame, because people started saying down here that the assassin was up here at the time of the assassination, and then he captures Oswald's picture right there, putting the rifle up in there, coming back down, and then Oswald gets his picture took. So see, there was still shots being fired when Dillard took that image as well. There was still shots being fired. When we put these images and we base these on time frames and we put them back in time frames, when we look at this, we're going to see that a lot of images are being taken at the time of these shots are fired. Just like if people don't understand, Mary Mormon, when she took her shot, took her image, there was 2 shots fired at that time. She didn't know it, but she took that image. Okay, people don't understand this. When she's standing here, Mary Mormon and Gene Hill and them standing here, and you got the babushka lady over here and stuff like that. There were shots being fired right above their heads, and they didn't know it. People standing over here on the curb, there's shots being fired over their head, and they're making these contacts as you see as it follows down when you place it in these locations and everything else, and you see that in these locations there was bullets being flying all over the place, especially where Mary Mormon was. There was a lot of shots fired around them over their heads. Okay, you have to look at this, and there's a lot more information you can pull out from it and everything else when you view these. Okay, like I said, people don't understand when it comes to JFK assassination. You get this evidence, you put it back in perspective, you put it back in its location, and then when you start pinpointing these locations, you have the gunman's location and you have the distance. You have the gunman's location and you have the pinpoint exactly where these bullets make contact and stuff like that. And you place everything back in. Now you can find the time frames, you can find a distance. You know how many times a person, JFK was shot now, you know how many times Governor Conway was shot. There was a curb shot, there was a shots in the manhole cover, grass area, steps, street sign. We know distraction shots were taken. Why? Because to get the people to run up the hillside here so these 2 gunmen in shelter number 3 can get out. Okay. Then you have your point man right here, which is your mystery man. They have everybody looking over this directions because he's saving these 2 gunmen over here so nobody be looking over the over at the county records building. So that's why he's pointing here. And Oswald already set up the decoy rifle. Okay, and he took his shots, but he already set up the decoy rifle. So when they got up that floor, they're going to sit there and look at, well, we found this is the sniper's nest over here. Here's the rifle. We don't have to look nowhere else because this is the only assassin was there that day. Okay, they're not going to look down here. They're not going to look over the county records building because it was very well planned, like I said. With a shot being fired here, these guys here made sure that took distraction shots so these gunmen could get away right here. So that was their backup to get away. That's how they got away. Then you have your gunman down here, starts telling everybody look up here where the assassin was because the shots would come from here. Everybody's going to look at this building here and not pay attention to these because now these guys can get away. So now we have 4 gunmen getting away and only 1 gunman being caught. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget to like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video and all my other videos as well on the JFK assassination or Noah's Ark or Bigfoot or Patterson getting Bigfoot film. Let them know this information. Post it on your Facebook, Twitter accounts, any other social media so everybody can get this. In the description down below, you're going to find a site where you can order my book, Evidence of Conspiracy, which you'll find this evidence and a lot more. And don't forget to like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Thank you, and you have a pleasant, pleasant day.